Hey guys, so pretty sure you heard recently, but um, the actor who played um, Lord Zedd and Finster, as well as Armadillomon and Wizardmon, as among a few other characters, Mr. Robert Axelrod, unfortunately has passed away. I first came across the news when I was checking my Instagram feed, and um, particularly I heard from when I was checking Karen Ashley's Instagram feed, and I found out the news from there. I was, to be honest, just shocked and a bit upset about it because one, he voiced like a really well made villain for one. Two, that evil iconic laugh is just like right up there in my top three of evil laughs for villains. And I remembered the very first time I met the guy a decade ago in the Los Angeles Convention Center, which is now the home of Anime Expo. And this was roughly around the time that some of the actors and actresses were trying to promote Power Morphicon. I think it was getting there, but the traction was slowly picking it up, and they were just trying to get the word out a bit more. So I remember when I first met Mr. Axelrod in 2009, I was a little starstruck, fanboy going a bit crazy, but in the back of my head, I was constantly reminding myself, keep your cool, don't lose it, just act normal. I honestly tried to be as calm as I could, despite literally losing my head when I recognized a few of the other actors that were there. I mean, at the booth. I mean, I think one of them? I think was Big Foster, who fans know as Justin from Turbo. Obviously, Steve Cardenas was also there, and then Miss Catherine Sutherland. And before I forget, obviously I remembered Miss Patricia Ja Lee. Met her not once, but literally saw her twice, as I recall. But that again, yeah, I remember the first time I went there, I literally lost it as a fan of Power Rangers. But I mean, being able to meet one of my favorite actors who voiced one of the coolest looking villains in Power Rangers history. I won't lie, Mr. Robert Axelrod was great and a really nice guy. We had a few minutes talking about the show, what his favorite moments were, and also which of the two characters between Finster and Lord Zedd did he like the most. And I remember quite distinctly. He said it was actually Finster he had a lot of fun doing, and he enjoyed the most out of the two. But Lord Zedd, he said, was also a lot of fun. And I remember there was a little mini panel that they had with regards to trying to get the word of Power Morphicon out. And it was in the exact same room. Those who have gone to the Los Angeles Convention Center numerous times know exactly what room I'm talking about. And during the Q&A portion, I remember distinctly, someone was asking the voice actors of Rita and Zedd slash Finster to reenact a certain moment from the show. And bear with me for a few seconds, but I sort of remember it. It was roughly along the lines of Rita saying, like, Finster, make me a monster. And, like, Mr. Axelrod going in his usual, Finster voice. Oh, God. I'm sorry, guys. Just the moment, just thinking back makes the loss a little bit difficult. Sorry. But just thinking back, the memories, the laughs, so many moments. I mean, I could barely count them all, even if I tried. And on the same vein, like, I remembered when the Digimon mini battle back then, when both shows were airing as a kid, and I couldn't decide which one to watch. But on the Digimon subject here, one of my favorites obviously had to be Wizardmon. Reason being is that, yeah, he was sort of kind of like a mini villain of sorts, and he sort of was on the side of Myotismon for a time until he found out about the final Digidestined, which happened to be Tai's little sister Kari, and then Gatomon eventually joined her side. And right when Myotismon was about to unleash his attack on them, Wizardmon, being the good friend that he was, jumped in, took the full blast of it, and was willing to sacrifice himself to have Kari realize her destiny as being the last Digidestined, to help not just her brother, but the rest of his friends. And yeah, it was really one of the slightly toughest moments, but gave me a lot of respect for that character and the way how Mr. Axelrod was able to change the tone of his voice. And I spotted also on Instagram recently that there was an interview that he did in which how he explains how during the show of Power Rangers, he tried to convince somebody to let him try the role of Lord Zedd. And I found it fascinating just listening to his explanation and how he was inspired by Darth Vader and how he was able to change the tone of his voice literally from here. And just thinking back to how the character was, just again, sorry guys, memories just going all over the place, but it's tough. I'm not gonna lie, it was tough just hearing about it. Mr. Axelrod, seriously, from all the fans and your coworkers, may you rest in power, and you will be definitely missed, not just for portraying good characters, but also leaving behind a legacy that many fans and future fans will come to appreciate. So may you rest in peace, Mr. Robert Axelrod. Thank you again for the memories. And yeah, you will be missed by all.